The clock is ticking, and across Africa, thousands of people are holding their breaths, uncertain about their jobs, uncertain about their futures. But why the sudden panic? Because AGOA might expire. And now all eyes are set on the US because what happens there will determine the fate of thousands of jobs here in Africa. What am I talking about? To understand this, we need to rewind 25 years ago. You see, back in 2000, the US President Bill Clinton signed into law something called African Growth and Opportunity Act. And what was its goal? To boost economic growth and development in sub-Saharan Africa by encouraging trade and not aid. So how does it work? Simple. It gives eligible African countries like Kenya, Ethiopia, Nigeria, duty-free access to the vast US markets for thousands of their products. This means goods like clothes, textile, nuts can enter the US market without being subjected to import tax or quotas, therefore making their products competitive. AGOA was meant to run for 15 years, but it got extended for another 10 years in 2015. And now it's set to expire in September 2025. And that's why everyone's nervous. You see, several African countries took advantage of these incentives. For instance, Kenya built its export processing zones, EPZs, thanks to AGOA. And now, if AGOA expires or is not renewed, that implies that the duty-free access to the US market will end. But why is that a big deal? To understand this, let me break it down to you using Kenya's apparel sector. Now, this is what has been happening under AGOA. Clothes made in Kenya's EPZ are exported to the US duty-free. US buyers love this because there are no extra taxes, implying that the goods are cheaper. As a result, they place bigger orders, implying that the factories boom. Over 50,000 Kenyans end up getting jobs. Simply, cheaper goods, more orders, more jobs. But if AGOA ends, Kenyan apparel may face tariffs of up to 30%. This implies that Kenyan products will be more expensive in the US. The US buyers may ship their orders to cheaper countries like Bangladesh or Vietnam. Kenyan factories will lose orders. This implies that they will have to cut production or downsize, meaning that over 50,000 Kenyans will lose their jobs. And that's just Kenya. Across Africa, in Ethiopia, Madagascar, Ghana, Nigeria, and beyond, over 300,000 jobs are directly linked to AGOA. Now, do you see why there is pressure for the US government to renew it? Because the fate of 32 African countries hang in the balance. What do you think about this?